So, Danielle, I have been waiting for this moment for forever. Seriously, I'm so excited. I actually feel really emotional about interviewing you today and your incredible journey. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And should we just go right back to the beginning?
Yeah,
And can you tell everyone a little bit about how this whole journey at Unshakable you got started for you?
I I'd had everyone's situation is different, but for me, I had two kids. Before that, I was quite physically active and well and doing all sorts. Had some, I think from my early 20s, I had some musculoskeletal stuff going on. I felt my body was just getting a bit worse and worse. And then when I had my second child, I feel like the prolapse was then another thing. It was just another thing of my body slowly getting more and more affected, which I feel was by my emotions. I already got a little tear. Shutting.
Oh,
I'm going to be really emotional talking about this because you guys have literally changed my life, but
oh.
measurably so. And I just remember when I found my prolapse, I can't even describe the word, like harrowing, horrific. It just doesn't depict it. Like my organ was right at the opening of my vagina. It was right there. And life for me was just completely impacted. I couldn't walk, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything without feeling that it was going to fall out. And we're talking about uterus, vagina, bladder, grade two, they graded it, but it was right there at the entrance of my vagina. And then we won't necessarily go into how that impacts you physically, is going to the toilet, having leakages, just living your life as like a normal human being. And I was in my 30s and I'm just like, is life
Yeah.
over?
Hmm.
So that's the point. I felt pretty broken physically. My journey since my 20s, I was like, I think I was 38-ish around there when I joined the course.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, I think emotionally, I was quite broken through
Mhm.
different trials and tribulations through my life. Um, and my spirit just in so many different ways. And I didn't realize until I looked back what a
Mm.
dark place I was and how it was, I'd slowly got worse and worse and worse over time. And the prolapse was the cherry on the top, should we say.
Yes.
And I'd been to like health, I needed to sort myself out. I can't be broken forever. I have to find a way out. So I was searching and searching and I even had like five different people, professionals seeing me,
I
physios,
remember. Yeah.
chiropractors,
Yeah.
osteopaths, energy like people. I'm trying to think who else. Obviously, under the Urogyne consultants, so many, and I was just spending money as well. Just I was just desperate. I was absolutely desperate. And healthcare,
Mm.
I felt wasn't very personable to me. Like I had a lot of tension down there in my pelvic
Mhm.
floor, and they were telling me to just do pelvic floor exercises and this, and I felt like it was making me worse.
Yeah.
And I just felt it was a very generic approach, not necessarily for me. And I just felt lost and hopeless. And I didn't know what to do. And I
Mm.
was just desperate. And I was just in fear. I didn't want this to be my life forever. I wanted to just go to the toilet with ease, not have to worry about these horrific symptoms that I was getting.
Mm.
If you feel it'd be of benefit for me to talk about them, then I'm happy to, but only if I don't know if it's worthwhile or not. But yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think so many women can relate, and it's good to hear that you experienced what they're experiencing now, and then you're through the other side now.
Yeah, because I remember like trying to sort myself out down there and trying to I remember inserting estrogen at one point and I had loads of like really sore like I don't know what they were, like little lumps or polyp. I don't know what they were. After the birth, there was a lot of trauma down there and it was
Yeah.
really sore. And then I would leak all the time. My bladder would leak all the time. And that was just awful in itself. I remember just seeing my clothes and I was just thinking, I've got urine on them and now I'm so young. And then I'd try and go to the toilet and need to open my bowels and then it'd disappear. And then I'd have to insert my fingers in my vagina, push it back to where it was supposed to be, and then maybe I could go to the toilet. And I remember it was just so uncomfortable. Yeah, it was just life was. I bet I can't swear really, but yeah, I want to swear. Life was just awful. And I had
Yeah.
a baby and a husband and a
Yeah.
4-year old. and a dog,
Mhm.
and I had a life. And I remember going on these Facebook groups of women who had prolapses, and they were just said, I remember someone said, all you can do now for the rest of your life is carry a pint of milk or a few pints of milk. And I was just like, I want to roll around on the floor and play with my kids. I want to get back to netball. I want to get back to jogging. I actually want to live. I don't want to be in this broken body at the age of my 30s. Like, what's the point? So that's
Yeah.
right. I was really broken, really.
Yeah.
My spirit was broken, my emotions are broken, and physically I was, yeah, desperate. So that's where you found me. Or I found you, actually.
Oh,
Mm.
hey, listen, I can't thank you enough for that authenticity. I really felt that, and yeah, it's really, really important to share that. So thank you. And how did you feel out of interest when you first found Duncan and I on Unshakable You? You could be
I
authentic.
saw I saw your comment that you made on someone's post. So obviously I was like looking out there for help. I was just wanted, and I wanted positive stories. That was what I wanted. Women who've healed, who've got out of this situation, and what I wanted to copy exactly what they did, whatever it was.
Okay, got it.
I was looking at all sorts of stuff, which we don't really need to go into, but all sorts of things I was looking at. And then you just popped up in one of the comments. I was like, oh, okay. So then I think I looked more into it. I don't know if you had your website up then. Did you?
No, I don't. Very early days, I think. Yeah.
I was stalking on your Facebook page a little bit. You know, I like to do.
Did you say, sorry, it broke up a little bit. Did you say you were stalking my Facebook page for a bit?
Yeah, I was stalking
Good,
your Facebook
good.
page. I
Yeah.
like to stalk what you get up to. Oh. And I just thought, well, then I messaged you and reached out, and then we set up a masterclass. And I remember you were saying like we were setting up a date, and I was like, I just need it now. I do you remember me going like,
Yes,
let me
I
just
do.
do it like a few days before. I just need it now.
I remember you on the masterclass. I remember that after getting off the masterclass, it was on an evening, Monday. I remember the sky, and I remember you had already booked an interview to apply to the program by the time the masterclass had even ended.
Mm.
Do you remember that?
Yes, yeah. I was all in. I was just like, I need something, and this is what I need. So, and we booked the masterclass. I did that, and I was just like, and then we did our interview, didn't we? And I remember I was at my friend's house for some reason when we
Yeah.
did our interview to see if you felt I was compatible for the course, and just to find out a bit about me and etc. And I went in the room, and then we had our interview, and I walked out, and my friend was like, "Are you? What do you think?" And I was just like, "I'm just gonna do it." She's like, "How much is it?" I was
Yeah.
like, "I don't care. It's this much. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pay for it. I just don't care. Like literally, that's it. I'm done. I'm doing it." I had just. She was really quite surprised, but I was just like, "That's it." And what really stuck out for me in our interview was I just to go from that really dark place where people in healthcare were like, "You may get better, you may not. Just wait and see." And searching around places looking for people that have had positive stories, not finding a lot out there.
Yeah.
And I even wanted to go to this physio in Leeds and I was going to drive there in one day. I was going to do whatever it took. And to come from that place, and then you sat there and you said to me, "Oh, I guarantee that we'll heal your prolapse. That you can heal your prolapse." And I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, that's the first time anyone has
Yeah.
guaranteed that I can heal my prolapse, guaranteed that I can get my life back, guaranteed that I can live and be Danielle again, not this broken shell that I felt I was, and actually enjoy life again and find joy again. The kids.
Yeah.
So that for
Yeah.
me, clinical, it was just like light and hope and optimism and just being around. I liked to be around you. I felt a connection with you. I just felt you understood. You'd been through the
Yeah.
same thing. And it just felt I could just turn up as I was, be accepted and loved as I am. Mm.
Get me crying now. I knew this would happen today. Yes, absolutely.
I'm just going to touch on this because I feel it's important is what's
Yeah.
really, really important for me in and these are tears of happiness, um, was just being with you, being with Duncan, being with these women on this course, and just being loved, accepted as I am. And I could just be happy, I could be sad, I could be wherever I'm at, and just be met with love and compassion. And I think in the world, it's hard to feel accepted as you are. And it's just astounding to me. And to step away from the prolapse just for a moment is, I remember one of the darkest points in my life was I was on this course. I'd been doing it since, I think it was September time. And then August, September, I started early, even though the course wasn't ready, wasn't it? Because I was getting it.
You were on it.
And I just remember when my 4-year-old went from fully functioning and happy to just not being able to swallow, not being able to walk, just having all those scans, brain, spine, and I thought he was going to die, or be severely disabled. And you were like one of the first, if not the first, one of the first people I'd come running to, because I knew that I could get through it with the support of you and the group and Duncan in such a dark point in my life. And I just remember we had a coaching call, and I was sat in the room in the hospital, and Flint, he's now 5, he was 4 then, was just linked up to the IV drips, getting his treatments, trying to help him get better. And I was just on the call with you guys, just where I was at, and I was asking a question, and everyone showed such love and support. And it was through those really difficult times that this really helped me as well. It's just like a shining light, a warm embrace, such support. It was just a lifeline for me in those really harrowing times. And it just helped me to manage my emotions in those times and focus on what I could do to make myself feel better, to move forward, to take those steps forward in a constructive way. Because often people will just be there to give you physical support, but it's not just about that. It's about the emotions and how you feel, organizing your emotions so you can then show up for the children at the hospital, do whatever you need to do. And that really helped me, me. If I didn't have that support, I don't know how I would have managed. So this helped me a lot in so many ways.
Oh, we're so honored to be part of that journey with you. Oh my goodness. Thanks so much for sharing that. It was a super tough time, right? Yeah.
But I moved through it. Things have got better, and I just, as I said, just the calls with you guys, just being around your energy, just being accepted wherever I was at, and just help me to take a different perspective on things and to move through it. Was just pinnacle to get through it. And that was in addition to the prolapse. And interestingly, I'm going on off on a tangent, Jenny.
I love your tangents. You keep going. This is perfect.
I joined the program. Was it 2023? It was. I think it was.
Yeah, September.
August, September, when it actually officially started was September. And then Flint then actually got ill in the July 2024. And I actually think I'd healed my prolapse before that.
Yes, I remember you saying,
and I was doing things I would have found fearful. Like, he was quite heavy, and I was picking him up, carrying him, moving him because his legs weren't working. I was doing all that stuff I would never have thought of doing before with this prolapse. I was just doing it, and it was fine, and I wasn't in fear. And so, and I actually think I'd healed it before that, but obviously in the UK it takes ages to be seen by the urogynecologist. So I didn't then get the confirmation that I'd fully healed until it was April this year, 2025.
Yeah. That's when you got your official confirmation, right?
That's when I actually saw them. Yeah.
What did they say? Let's hear it.
Well, it's all because I'd seen someone else who graded them all grade 2, Then I saw her, this lady that then officially said they're gone. She'd seen me, and it had been about a 1.5 at that point. I can't remember the specific exactly which ones.
Yeah.
And then when I saw her in April 2025, it was just like they're all gone. The only thing that was left was a tiny little bit of back wall laxity where it just moves a little bit, but nothing major. Like I was even bearing down, I was like coughing, I was doing all the stuff, standing up, lying down. She assessed me in all the ways. I like thoroughness, I like to be sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So true.
and she said that's all there is. And she said that's what I'd expect from someone who's had a baby, who's not had a prolapse, who's completely fit and well. Like you can just go and do whatever you want. Woohoo!
Congratulations, you are amazing. How did it feel when you got that diagnosis? We've just heard from where you were, you went through all of that with your son Flint, and then to get that, I actually remember you messaging me and you being sending me a voice note and you being like off the stratosphere in joy.
I was just flying high. Doesn't even can't even.
No, right?
That's not even where I was at. I was up, up, up.
Yeah.
I was just loving life. I already knew she was going to say that to me. I already knew it, but just to have that confirmation, because I'd already known I'd healed for ages, but I was just cruising along, just doing what I was doing what we were doing on the course, and then yeah, I was flying high. It was just, but I kind of already knew that. I knew, but that confirmation was just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, we're so proud of you. Congratulations. Absolutely incredible. Leading the way for so many women. Badass manifester.
Can I touch on the prolapse a bit more, just to encourage
Yeah,
women? Because obviously I
definitely.
went
Go
through
for it.
all those symptoms and like going for a
Yeah,
walk and feeling everything and feeling pinching and all sorts.
yeah.
But I think it wasn't long into the course, maybe about, I think I had a huge improvement within 6 weeks. I can't remember exactly when.
Right.
My symptoms, I didn't feel.
Yeah.
I didn't feel the heaviness. I just
Mhm.
didn't feel those symptoms, like my bowels were working better.
Mhm.
Just, and I think I remember I did do an interview after 6 weeks. I remember the sore lumps were gone.
Yes, I do.
So
Yeah.
like it did not take long into the course to have huge life-changing improvements with regards to the symptoms.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. That's really important. That's great to hear.
Just as an
Yeah.
encouragement for women, if they're thinking about it, like you don't have to wait and wait and wait. You can feel good, like pretty much straight away.
Yeah. And you were still walking as well, Danielle, right? You were going on walks with your dog, you were doing some
Yeah.
cycling, you're moving the kids. So you even before you got that healing diagnosis, like you say, pretty early on, you all your symptoms had improved and you were moving again, right? Like you
Mm,
say, pretty soon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I love being active.
Yeah.
And I see it now more as a journey. Like I probably would have been quite disheartened to not have it all right now, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
moving forward, getting better because in addition to the prolapse, I had all the pelvic instability, which had been going on for years. Like,
Yeah.
and then so that's been so the Urogini had said to me, prolapse wise, I can do anything I want because it's gone, you know. But the
Yeah.
pelvic
Yeah.
instability, like I've been dipping in, dipping out. But what I found really helpful is the stuff with Duncan on the course, doing the hyperpressives, doing the he like can do there's a pelvic assessment within the course, working on my alignment of my pelvis, strengthening the muscles around the pelvis. So that for me is what I'm working on more now, as well as
Mhm.
doing the emotional stuff as well, because I can't live without. That's just going to be a forever thing.
Yeah.
But that, and I'm excited. So I have been doing more exercise. I've been doing my badminton. I've been doing some jogging, dipping in and out. I've been doing spinning. Definitely been doing
Love
that.
it.
Really, still doing that. And I'm excited about getting back to doing badminton, squash, netball. It is coming. So I'm working on my pelvic stability at the minute. I'm getting there. And the last time I saw my sports therapist, she said I had a beautiful aligned pelvis. So, it's all going that way, or that way, or
Yeah.
that way, whichever you want to
I love it.
look at.
Maybe you can describe for everyone actually in your words. It's sometimes better when one of our members describes. So the question I get asked a lot is, Jenny, I get it's all emotional at root. I get that it's all energetic. So why do you have physical tools in your program, then why is Duncan's work in there? How would you, I know how I would answer that, but how would you answer that? Because it's probably helpful for everyone to hear.
For me, it's about the emotional work was huge for me with my past, where I've come from. I can talk about the emotional side, like my emotional journey, my mental health as well. Like that was a big thing for me. So the emotional side was huge. But I feel like if I didn't have these other viewpoints about the physical body, that would be enough.
Yeah.
Because I've learned that like through emotions, through energy flow through your body, you can heal anything. But I've got these beliefs and these ideas around the body, and the work that Duncan does taps into them. And I do the myofascial stretches, which really help me with my alignment, which help me to improve, but also work on my belief and my body, feel better in my body. So it kind of helps me to work on the physical aspects, works on my belief because I feel a difference, and work on my emotions. So like it's all three-pronged, or so it's, I don't think with my beliefs and mindset I've come from, it would take me longer to just do it through emotional work, because I have always exercised, I've always gone to the gym, I've always done all sorts of things. And to me, in my mind, to get fit, I've got to do physical work. So it's tapping into that belief and using it to its benefit, to my benefit.
Yep. Beautiful. Said it better than I ever could. Love it. And also you've got a healthcare background as well, right?
Yeah.
So that taps into a lot of the physical side of things.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I have more beliefs in potentially resistance around things. Well, most definitely resistance, because I know too much. So then I focus on it a bit more. They can hinder me a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. And I was the same. That's why I always needed that element too, because I had that whole background as well in the physical body and sports and everything. So it's really helpful, like you say, to have that three-pronged approach with mental, emotional, spiritual, and then the physical.
Mm.
So yeah, love that. Are we going to get into some of this juicy emotional stuff that you're going to share with us? So we're
Oh
going to get
yeah,
into some of that.
because my background, I've had depression twice. Then I've had postnatal depression after my first child. Funnily enough, the second child that I had after having my prolapse, I didn't have depression. But I would say I'm on the cusp, because I was. So I'm trying to just say my mental health over the years has been difficult. I've been very much, have a lot of insecurity, I would say, not so much now, had a lot of insecurity in myself. I felt not good enough in many aspects of my life. Which then made me quite fearful of certain situations. And I think in the moment, I didn't really realize how insecure and fearful I was, and how I was always in worry, often in fight or flight. I didn't realize to what level until I've come out the other side. And actually, I'm just like, now I feel calm. Now I feel at peace. Now I feel actually joyful or happy, or I can tap into those positive emotions. I didn't realize how much I'd not had it for so long. And I tried CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. I tried counseling. I tried lots of stuff. And yes, they had their place and they got me to a point, but they didn't get me beyond to fully enjoying life, to fully thriving. And I had loads of intrusive thoughts about myself, or like just not being good enough, just all the time. I was really mean to myself a lot. They're not there anymore. My mind is quiet. And when they pop in, I know what to do with them. Just get rid of them. Working on your emotions rather than your thoughts is revolutionary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can sit there and I can be at peace, or I'll go for a walk. And normally I'd be like going on about what's happened, or someone said this, or da 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 da. Not actually. Whereas now I go on my walk. Oh my gosh, look at the beautiful trees, look at the leaves, look at this, look at that, at peace, enjoying myself, up in joy and happiness, not fearful about my prolapse. Like, just, it's hugely different. hugely different to where I was at before. So mental health wise, the processes we do on this course is far superior for me for where the tools that I needed to get to this point.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So I tried that stuff. It did help, but to me, this is what really helped me. And I do still talk about stuff going on, but I don't like count. I wouldn't say no, don't do these things. I know what I like about you is you never dissuade us from doing anything or discourage us. You often say what feels right, what works for you, always.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I love about this course and you and Duncan is that no question is ever, you can ask anything you want. It's all very authentic, it's all very open, and that's quite a safe space for me and for everyone else. Like we know we can ask anything and it's met with genuine authenticity. There's nothing hidden.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just also all open and out there. And I like that. I like to have transparency. I don't like stuff. I can trust everybody and be myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. My goodness. Wow. To hear you say that, I always have this snapshot of that first interview when someone first started and where they are now, like this kind of like energetic snapshot. And to feel where you are now, it's wild in a good way. It's amazing. Did you ever think you would say, I don't have intrusive thoughts anymore?
No, well, to be fair, I actually didn't even realize they were that bad. They were
Yeah,
there
got
all
it.
the time, all the time. I remember
Yeah.
like saying to Graham, my husband, what are you thinking about? And he's like, nothing. And I'm just like, well, I'm thinking about this.
Yeah.
Always, never really at peace.
Yeah. Yeah. And how has that played into your relationship with Graham, your husband?
We're in such a better place. So
Mm.
I would say the last, so obviously he's also had struggles as well. Like we've been together since 2009, so it's quite a long time. And then I think we were already, both of us emotionally in our own ways, had our challenges. And then we had
Yeah.
children. And then that just
Yes.
escalated things more because you've got someone else who needs you, got more pressures, things are overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed a lot. I would be in overwhelm and rage a lot because I'd feel
Yes.
overwhelmed, I couldn't cope, and then I'd erupt and then I'd feel guilty. And it was just this and then feel insecure in myself. It was just a cycle continuously. And he had his challenges too. But I just feel like having had the processes tapped more into my emotions, how I'm feeling, I feel like I can show up better in my relationship with him, with the children, with other people, because I'm not throwing my emotions at everyone else. And also, I'm not at the mercy of their emotions either. Whereas before, I would take it all and it would really upset me most of the time and I'd feel really insecure and stuff. But now I don't feel like that emotional ping pong ball like I was before. I feel more grounded. I feel so much calmer. And Graham and I, we've had our struggles, which I know you know about. I won't necessarily go into all the finite details, but like a month before, Flint, my son, was ill. So we're talking about a month before that horrendous chapter. Things broke down with me and Graham in
Yes.
such a crazy way. And I feel like if we hadn't have had the tools in this course, I just don't think we'd have withstood what we went through. I don't think we would have done. And I feel like we perhaps wouldn't even be together anymore to that level, to that degree. We were so affected a lot. And just, I showed up so differently with him through those trials and tribulations as a couple, where I would have done before, much less out of blame. Like I would have blamed him for so many things, but actually I could actually see how he'd kept us going. Instead of persecuting him for struggling, how he kept us going for the years that we were having our struggles with the children. And I was completely physically incapacitated. I was on crutches at some points with the pregnancies, and I've come from a really difficult place with my pelvic instability. He kept us going. He kept working. He kept the house going. He looked after the kids. He did us so much. And then it's not surprising that his emotions were struggling. So I could see him differently, whereas before I probably would have been very critical and blaming him, and it completely changed how we met each other. And we're still working on ourselves, and we're getting better and getting better and getting better. We've had our ups and downs. It's never going to be a smooth trajectory, but it's all part of the journey. And I feel like if we didn't have the tools that you share with us on this course, and if I didn't have that safe space to share how I'm feeling, to ask questions, even about, because we ask all sorts of questions. It's not just about the physical body.
Everything.
It's about, I've got this situation with my husband, or I've got this situation with this other person, or I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that. Help me work through it. How do I show up? How do I work on my emotions so I can show up better in this situation? It's just been, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's just been a lifeline for us in so many aspects of our lives, so many dimensions of our lives, an absolute lifeline. I honestly feel like this sounds so over the top, so over the top.
Go for it.
Oh gosh, she's so weird. But I literally feel like you and Duncan and the women on the course have saved me. I do. Saved me emotionally, physically. My life is just so much better. You helped me put all the pieces back together, and I can shine again.
Oh. Well, thanks for trusting us.
I feel like you've saved me and helped me save myself and my marriage and my relationship with my children. It's just so much better. I enjoy them so much more. Life is so much more fun. Whereas it was just limping along and coping before. We weren't thriving. We were just literally surviving.
Yes.
I feel like we're not thriving 24/7 because not perfect, and I'm still working on myself. But we have so much more fun. We thrive so much more, and the kids are just so much happier as a result of doing all this work on this course.
And you did it, That I appreciate all the love and the appreciation that you give Duncan and the group, and thank you so much. But I also want to hand it back to you, and you went for it. You did the tools, you did the work, you showed up to every single call, right? You threw yourself in, you are dedicated. So I also want to say a massive, massive thank you and well done to you.
Thank you.
because otherwise the program wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
And we get that same level of joy helping you and witnessing your transformation as well. So yeah, huge thank you and massive well done to you. Those words, again, don't do it justice, but you feel it, right?
I do. Thank you. I used to find that it was like a little sliver of light in a difficult situation. I remember saying to you at one point, when I come on the calls, I feel better emotionally, and then I'll go back to, I can't remember exact words I used, but I would struggle, and then I'd get to the calls, and then I'd feel better, and then I'd struggle again, and I'd do the call, and I'd feel better. And this would go. Do you remember? I can't remember how I described it.
I do. Yeah.
Like I just need them to feel better, whereas I've moved beyond that now.
Yeah.
To the point where I don't need them. They're there because, help me tune me up a little bit here and there, but I could do on my own now. I just love hanging out with you guys. I'm always going to be here.
Love it.
There's something else that and that's the other thing is lifetime. I just love how we are here forever if we want to, dip in, dip out. But something I just wanted to share was I feel for me, the concept of the teachings, the processes and stuff was very new to me. And I feel I've noticed some women come in and I feel like they already know a bit about the theory behind it, etc. But for me, and I have to understand everything. So it just took a bit of time. It was all very new to the law of attraction and just working on your emotions. So for other people out there who have no awareness of it at all, it helped me.
Yeah. And was that challenge? Did you have challenges with that along the way, Danielle? Was that challenging at times, being so fresh and such a brand new concept for you?
Sometimes, I mean, even now, like you might discuss something on the call, and I'm like, I just need to go away and think about that. Some people are like, yeah, I get it, and I'm just like, I need to just ponder that a bit more, and over time, I'll understand it more. So I would probably come away. And then I might ask another question in a different way, and another question in a different way, and different calls. I would think
Yeah.
and process and stuff just a bit longer. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I think I'm a bit more reserved at times with throwing myself into stuff as well. I like to fully understand things.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I remember like the physical questions, I would go through them with a fine tooth comb with you. Like, I'm just like, and what about this? And I remember back to when I was driving this car with a heavy clutch, and I was like, Jenny, like, it's making my prolapse worse. It's just, I'm just pressing down on the stuff. I'm just like, I mean, it just seems so far away from where I'm at now. But I just,
Yeah.
everything bothered me, everything.
Yeah. Yes.
I was
I
afraid of
remember with
everything in
love.
life physically. I could
Yeah.
sit there and I'd be fine. And then as soon as I got up and moved, I was like, it's going to make my prolapse work. So I had a lot to work through.
Yeah. You did. I kind of feel like, you and the others, we've got this AI tool for everyone to know, in our program that literally has every single call, and it pulls. You can ask it questions and it pulls from all of the calls. And Danielle has laid down some amazing tracks for anyone who's going to join. I feel like you and I hashed out the physical and the law of attraction in ways I've never done it before. It's amazing. And all that work is in there now for everyone else to benefit from. The ways you wanted to look at everything at every angle is so powerful. You got me being really creative and having to think, what's a different way I can get this across to her, which was so amazing, and
Mm.
that's like the fundamentals of the program there now. Yeah. It was fun, wasn't it?
It was fun. It was fun. I've got
Maybe
some
not
good
at the time.
memories of the calls, and at the time it's hard. And when you're in the journey,
Yeah.
it is hard. It's awful, the symptoms that you have to go through, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be in a year's time or whatever. Or some people have healed in 3 months, yeah, but it can be immediately better. Immediately, you can feel lighter
Yeah.
and better, and the symptoms reduced. It can literally be within a
Yes.
week. It doesn't have to be long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're coming from such a desperate place and feeling awful things in your body, have that
Mm-hmm.
hope and that lightness and that
Yes.
optimism. And I remember from the beginning, I didn't believe I could heal my prolapse fully. And I would always say to myself, I'll borrow Jenny's belief. Jenny believes I can heal my prolapse. I'm going to borrow Jenny's belief. She believes I can. I can do it because she believes it. And it's
Mhm.
taken
Love
me a
that.
long time to fully
Yeah.
believe, you know?
Mhm. Yes, exactly. It's a journey. That's great because it's one of the questions I get asked the most. Is it okay that I don't believe I can heal when you've offered me a place? Yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't need the program, but I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And is there anything, I mean, I think you've shared so much, but is there anything that has surprised you? Does anything come to mind?
Hmm. Anything that surprised me. Well, to be fair, that it's possible to heal your body through emotions. That surprised me because I'm always like, wow, you've got to. I remember having a newborn child and I was doing 2 hours of exercise because of what the physio had told me when I had my prolapse. And I was just like, I've got to physically sort this out. I've got to do this, 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 this. I got to like really just push myself from fear and worry because I was desperate. But that you can heal your body through emotions. I mean, that's a shock. How's that
You're
possible?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I say this to people, and I just think it's just not in our psyche in today's society, like,
Mhm.
and to
Mhm.
just take things slow and easy,
Yeah.
and things will just flow in and come in. Like, again, I'm
Yeah.
used to just, you've got to motivate yourself and you've got to push yourself to achieve anything, but you don't. It's just
Mhm.
such an alien concept to me. That's a shock.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
even and I'm still working on stuff. So yes, I've healed my prolapse, but there's other things in my body I want to heal, and I'm still working on my beliefs with it.
Yes.
And I'll get
Yeah.
there. Yeah. But it's just believing it and slowly changing it and letting the energy flow through your body. And but yeah, I see such a difference in myself, in my body, in my children, in our interactions with my husband and with other people, and how I show up to life. Like it's just in my thoughts, just
Yeah.
my mental health, just all of it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Everything. There's no part of my life that's not been touched by this program. None.
Wow. Love that. And
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 also,
what
it
would
could
you,
be fun.
yes.
It was fun as
Cool.
well.
I'm
We had a
glad you had some
laugh.
fun on the way.
Yeah. We had a laugh. It was just nice hanging out with amazing people from all over the world who Yeah, and just sharing love with people. And the other thing that surprised me was I was so used to it being when you have a prolapse, you go in these groups and you find that it's all negative. It's all like, oh my God, it's horrendous. And it is horrendous. It is.
Mm.
But this space that you and Duncan have created for us is just different, positive, light, shining light on stuff, hope, optimism. And yeah, we can, and it's not that we can't talk about the struggles and that what we're having, but we're moving away from that. So we can be authentic, we can ask about these things. And yes, it is hard, but looking at things in a different way and moving away from that. So that's how positive the space was, despite the diagnosis I had. That was a shock. That it could be positive. It's such an awful diagnosis.
Yeah.
The other thing that shocks me is there's no health thing, there's nothing that's a limitation at all. You can heal anything, not just a prolapse. Loads of stuff.
Yeah. Wow. I guess my final question to you, amazing, is what would you say to somebody who is right on the fence right now, considering joining, considering investing, and feeling a little bit nervous? What would you say to them, Danielle?
I mean, it's just go for it. You got nothing to lose. Just go for it. It's well worth any resources you put into it. It's well worth it. And I would have spent a lot of money on different avenues. I was seeing 5 professionals. I was driving all over the place. I would have driven to Leeds, as I said, which is what, 6 hours to go and see someone. I was driving to Winchester. I was just leaking money everywhere and then all you need is just the one thing. That's it. And it's not that. I mean, I've gradually reduced these people. I only really see one person now every now and then, but I don't need to.
Yes.
Just because I feel good going, And for me, it's well worth the investment. Well, it was I dread to think where I would be at if I did not take that step. It's really hard for me to necessarily, I had no doubt. I was just
Got it.
all in, no shadow in my mind. I was just gonna do it because I just needed to get better. I didn't want to be that shell of a person anymore, and I needed to get better. And you guaranteeing that I could get better was just what I needed, the hope that I needed. And I would just say, just go for it. I wouldn't even question it any more than that. To just come from that place of sadness and darkness and fear and insecurity in your body to just coming to a place of light and hope and ease, acceptance and love. What more do you need? It's life-changing. It's worth it. And I love you and Duncan, I just do. And all the ladies. I'm just so happy.
Oh, and we love you. Listen, I can't thank you enough. Duncan and I, our favorite thing to think about is the ripple effect in the world, helping you guys and then how that affects the entire planet and every human being on the planet. And, we live for that. So thank you for being a shining light on the planet and sharing everything that you've learned and taken on board with the world, lifting the frequency on the planet. So we can't thank you enough for that. We're wildly proud of you, very emotional about it. Even Duncan was shedding a little tear when I told him I was going to be interviewing you. And yeah, just thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Oh, thank you.